Hello and welcome to Records Rebuilds. This 66 Corvette is going to be a pretty long project, and sometimes it can be a little hard to decide where to start on something like this because there's so many things that need to be fixed. But the key really is just to make sure that you start somewhere. Find one thing that's broken and fix it. And eventually, if you do that enough times, there won't be anything that's left broken. Now, for this car, I want a quick, easy victory to start things off. Something that'll get me motivated, feeling like I'm succeeding. And this car hasn't run in 7 years, so getting it running will be the first thing I need to do. So, right now, I think that primarily involves the battery over here. You can see in this car, it's kind of a pain in the butt to get the battery out of here. There's this big expansion tank here, and you can't get the battery out until you get the expansion tank out of the way. So that's what we'll be working on first. Okay, I never really realized how hard it is to replace the battery on these small block cars because it never had fenders on it for most of the time that I was working with it. But it's really a pain. You've got to pull this expansion tank out of here as the first step. Then there's the battery cover that needs to come off. It's nice because it keeps the battery from flopping around, but when you need to change it, it sure is a pain. Then the battery itself needs to come out, which is a really odd angle, and I think my back is still sore from that. Then this new Optima battery has a spacer you have to put on the bottom before it will fit, so you put the spacer in the battery tray first, and then the battery. So then we put all the battery gadgets back together and topped off the coolant. Okay, so this is a brand new gas tank, but pretty much the only tank of gas it ever had. We ran it totally out of gas, so there's no bad gas in the lines or anything, but this tank has a lot of grime on the inside of it, so I recruited my neighbor Jordan, who's the only person I know whose hands can fit down in there, which mine cannot. So we're going to see if we can get some of that wiped out of there. So as it turned out, Jordan was able to get a lot of dirty, grimy stuff out of there, but she couldn't fit her elbow inside the tank, so we couldn't wipe the whole tank down. So I've got another solution for that problem that we're going to use for a future episode, but on this day, I decided just to put an extra fuel filter in line up in the engine compartment. Now, the 63 through 65 Corvettes had a fuel filter in this location, but the 66 and 67 Corvettes did not. Okay, so we're about to fire up this 365 horse 327, and if I know anything about these old small block Chevys, it's that they can handle it if they sit for a lot longer than they should. But it's time to find out now. I think also we're going to see a lot of smoke. Every time I fired this car up before, it's made a lot of smoke. We think that the valve seals are not that great on it, and we think that's what's going on there. So we'll just see what happens here. In the carburetor. Okay. Yeah, sure. If you do, it's not going to have any left, right? Any what? Well, it's going to fire for a second, and then it's still going to have enough gas. I mean, it's got a lot of fuel line to fill up.
I know, but once you get the engine turning a little bit, it fills it up pretty quick.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point.
Now go, Jenny.
Here, I'll let you do it.
You have like a little...
binding up on the throttle cable. Pull that off there. Something's binding up on the throttle cable and the...
I tried to move it a while ago. I noticed it's hard.
It's binding up on the air cleaner.
I'll loosen it up a little bit. Try it now. Is that better?
I don't know. Is it going all the way? I don't think it is.
I don't think it's
Yeah,
going.
it is. It is.
Well, this is not the correct air cleaner, you know.
Right. There's just not much play between totally off the throttle and totally on it, is there?
No.
Alright, thanks, Mary. I don't need it right now. Oh, here we go.
You can hold it.
Oh. Think we should have got anything by now?
Yeah, I do. The center post is way too long, but that's okay. Yeah, it's dry as a bone. Let's do it nothing. You know, it could have a bad fuel pump. They dry out and rip that diaphragm in there sometimes. But it could be me priming.
Well, Mary had a thing.
Yeah.
Mary, can you hand that thing to Grandpa?
No, I've got it right here. Are all these built? Can I put a little bit in one of these 1 gallon cans?
One of these what?
Can I put some gas in one of these?
Sure, that's a mixed can, but yeah. Whatever you want to do is fine with me.
Well, is the other one a mixed can?
I don't know. I can help you pour it if you want. Do you want me to crank it?
No, give it a try.
It's just burning whatever you put in there.
Well, but it's spinning it faster. It's running terrible. It's missing out bad.
Yeah?
Of course, that could be fouled plugs or anything.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like it's pumping much gas.
No. What'd you say?
That's not bad.
No, Can we turn the fans on, Kate?
Yeah.
Let's make sure there's nothing flammable right next to that other exhaust
Yeah.
pipe.
I'll try it
I
again.
mean, it's a hot rod motor, I
Where'd you put those
guarantee you.
guys?
Yeah.
Did it just die?
I just let it go and it just did that, yeah.
Man, it's louder than I remember it.
It's because it's got side pipes now.
Yeah, I know, but that even with the side pipes.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course, we're in a garage.
Okay, so that was obviously a way better test than I was hoping for. A lot of smoke, definitely some oil getting into those cylinders, but that's pretty encouraging for an engine that hasn't fired in 10 years. And we've got one little problem to sort out already. We're already leaking gas from this carburetor here, probably a bad seal right here on this bowl over here. So we'll have to take that off there and replace that soon so that we don't catch ourselves on fire. But overall, it's a pretty good day. And thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.